What's happening, Five Nation? Welcome to yet another special edition of the Champions Blueprint. As you know, we only bring you the best in South African sport. Today, we've got one of the most iconic voices. When you love South African football, you know this voice, especially Sesotho. I mean, the name Baba Mthethwa needs no introduction. I mean, when you look at South African football, that is the commentator that truly stands out. And he joins me this morning. Baba Mthethwa, how are you, sir?
Good morning, and how are you? Let's say South Africa and the world.
Yeah. One of the best in South Africa, the African continent, and the world. It started here at the SABC, and that's where I want us to start our conversation. Take me back to the start and how you found it here at the SABC, especially as a youngster.
Thank you for inviting me first. Much appreciated. Whenever I see these walls, it gives me goosebumps, and also it's very nostalgic. No selective nostalgia on this one, because everything went well here from day one until I left. The main thing that I would say about this place, before I dwell into deeper conversations about it, is that I was welcomed. That's the first thing. I was made to feel belonging. I was made to feel that now your journey is properly starting for life. Identifying my talent and accepting my talent and giving me opportunities really made me who I turned out to be in latter years. And I believe that it was by no fluke that happened, that almost after 3 decades in the broadcasting world, one is still being felt, resonating, belonging, and fulfilling hearts and minds of Africans in the continent and also in the diaspora. And for that, I feel that I should be very grateful for those who identified my talent when I said, hey, I have something in my bag. I have something that my voice can tell to this nation. Because I feel that they taught me that if you are a commentator or a sport presenter, I'll talk about those because that's my field. You are also a nation builder. You know, people would say, I'm coming back from work, I'm tired, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. In the house, me and my wife, girlfriend, we're not talking to each other. My kids are messing me up, and what do? Switch on TV and find something that can make my heart melt. And then get this voice doing what you love most, which is football. And my voice would mesmerize you. Even the person you're not talking to. When a moment happens and the voice says something, immediately it brings back the connection between two people probably not talking to one another, or to somebody whose heart was broken in the last 8 hours at work and carried that heart home. But when they hear this voice and what's been said by the voice, how it's been said, in their preferred language, everything changes. The children will be worried that when this man comes home, he's very angry. But as soon as football starts, they know. Change to that language option. He loves it. Then he eventually take out 20 and say, Tamorekang 2 liter. Ya Coke. There's joy in the house. So we're building the nation. We're cutting the corners of anger, corners of accepting that as a people, we can't just live must live purposely. And those purposes, it must be drafted from somewhere to build those communities. And it's my job as a nation builder to do that. And I was taught that here. Great men and women of the profession that taught me Ubuntu, Botho, humanity. Some have passed on, some are still here. I can count many of them. People like Dr. Simon Magasela. He's retired now. Brapet Mahuma, he's still here. Jabu Mnyageni, he's retired. Krokungwenya, he's retired. There's so many. Keletso Totlanyo, she's still here. Diana Stanton, she retired. Noma Gnene, she's still here. There's so many of them. Mashia Mahlalela. She took me to a school in London where I was trained at Octagon. I'm still thankful even today that she chose me as one of the people who could go there and be trained at Octagon. You know, all those things. You say, if it wasn't grace, it was a blessing. But blessings don't go alone. They're covered by grace.
I love what you mentioned there in terms of the beauty of sport and your role as a sport commentator, as a sports presenter, to give hope to the nation and to give them a broad smile. Dr. Ivan Khoza talks about how people buy a ticket to watch Orlando Pirates play over the weekend. And in that moment, they forget the problems that they have, because when Orlando Pirates wins, they are so joyful that that moment really erases the pain from the week that was. I want to talk to you about South African football in its entirety, just the beauty and what it means to this country, because yes, we can celebrate big moments like the FIFA World Cup that was hosted in 2010, but season in, season out, there's a beauty that the South African football flavor brings to so many South Africans. What makes it so special for you as someone who watches the game, who commentates the game, and truly lives the game of South African football?
You know, I was told by another wise man a long time ago that for us black people, football is our treasure. He said no one must take away football from us as a people and the taxi business. He said those two things belong to us and no one should touch them. You touch them, you touch 80% of the nation and we'll fight back. To answer your question, it's exactly that. So it takes you to understand football, to understand how football people think and how they understand the beauty of football. It's not called the game of billions for nothing. It's not called the beautiful game for nothing. To answer your question about South African football, it's the pulse that is there within football followers. It's the passion, okay? The perfection that the football players try to bring on the field. And that goes to what I usually say, pushy passion. This passion is pushed by the love of what we see on the field, the colors that we wear. Remember, the whole world knows Africa for three things: color, beat, and song. That's us, Africans. Go to any stadium. Doesn't matter how big, how small teams are playing. There'll always be somebody singing. There'll always be somebody very colorful. There'll always be somebody doing something but that will resonate with other people at home or at the stadium, and they all just join. Every football match is a party. And party does not make people sad. A party makes people to be happy. So you're right when you say, Dr. Ivan says, people buy tickets to go and have fun and happiness. So I've renamed Orlando Stadium myself. I don't call it Escotin anymore. I call it Escotin Skama Minzela. A true life center of happiness. Because every time you go to Orlando, as an example, hypothetically, people come back, they're happy. Hypothetical example, Paris was trailing from DRC. 3 goals.
Yes.
Not many people believed. But if you remember what I said to you the other day, before that game, I said Paris is going to win the game on the day. And they did. When they saw the first 11, there were grumbles. So, where's Mahupa? Where's Mabasa? Where's who? I've always maintained that Coach Wadu is a clever man. And he proved that. Vindicated my thinking. But it's not about me. It's about the football world. The happiness that brought people together. Especially on that occasion. As an example. Whereby you find that people were sad the previous week. The following week, they're very happy. Despite the fact that Paris lost.
Yeah.
They were still happy. You know why? Paris brought them joy by scoring 3 goals. Where they lost on penalties, they didn't care. Yeah. Penta will be there, we know.
Yeah.
But they didn't care. All that they wanted was to make sure that they didn't lose on the day in normal play, and they achieved that. So football fans have got a way of wanting to achieve. 1, fulfillment. That's why they go out and buy colors. They feel part of the institution. Whether Chiefs or Pirates or whoever, they're part of the institution. Do you know that South Africa is one of the countries in the world that sells more replica jerseys than any other?
Sure.
We're in the top 5 in the world as a country in terms of buying replica. Whether it's jerseys, tracksuits, whatever, besides the Bombays that people do themselves. The original stuff. There's a team in South Africa that makes over 800 million a season by selling only replica. Don't you think many companies would want to come to South Africa to the certain clubs that we know their merchandise goes like hotcakes every season? That's where you come in as a football fan. The investment put in by corporate has to have a good return. The return is you buy a jersey, you buy this, you buy that, a cap, a takey, or whatever. The return is the team that you are wanting to represent, to be seen representing with your passion, must give you results to repay back the investment that you had put in for the team by buying that jersey. Not that because you want to play with money. No, it's an investment that needs a return. The return is the team winning trophies, brings you joy, happiness, fulfillment, all those things as a football fan. They're with you. So South African football has become synonymous with the best in the world in terms of fan base. The only problem that I have is when football fans say maybe Stellenbosch is playing against Pirates, and then Chiefs fans or Sundowns fans or Amazulu fans would go to stadium and watch that game. Nowhere in the world does that happen. I feel I'm so uncomfortable with that because it takes away the rivalry between the two clubs that are playing. You know, apartheid caused a lot of problems for us in a sense that we became too divided. And we can't reconcile from that as a group of people. Because now we're still thinking that, you, no. Yes, fine. Football is football. Rivalry is rivalry. You saw what happened on Wednesday with that Casablanca and what's the other one called? And Raja Casablanca. Yes. the city is divided into 2.
Yes.
Like literally 2, green and red. Same happens here when Chiefs and Pirates are playing. So during the year, when those 2 are not playing, go support your teams wherever they're playing. Don't take your money and spend it on supporting teams, a team that you don't support. No, it's wrong. We are there on TV to give you that. We'll give you on TV. But let the teams that are playing on the day enjoy the space of them being there and enjoying their teams. Because eventually, Fortunately, violence is gone in our football now. Unlike before, when you used to have lots of violence between opposing teams. You would never sit on the Chiefs side as a Pirates fan or vice versa. You never attend a Swallows game if you're a Chiefs fan or a Pirates fan. No, you stay at home because your team is playing tomorrow at 3 o'clock on Sunday or Saturday. We're playing today. Don't come here. You come close wearing your black and white, you know what's going to happen. So it's not bad. It's good rivalry. Imagine you go to Merseyside. Game is at Goodison Park. You come as a Liverpool fan and Everton is playing against anybody. And then you sit on the side of the opposition of Everton.
Yeah.
Come end game, Everton has lost. You walk amongst those. Are they going to leave you?
No.
Those hooligans won't leave you. They're going to deal with you.
There's no way.
Imagine any London derby, whether it's Tottenham against Brentford, whether it's Tottenham against West Ham, whether it's Fulham against across the road, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, whether it's Arsenal against Tottenham, or any of those London derbies. You sit there. You don't belong to any of the two. You just came to cause problems by talking. You'll get it, Baba.
There'll be a problem.
We're not pushing for violence or whatever. We're saying give those teams space for them to enjoy their space. Because your team will be playing tomorrow. You must go and support it wholeheartedly. You see, because with the liberty of TV, you can see every game in South Africa. All of them. All PSL games are live on TV.
Yeah.
So there's no way that you can have an excuse that I can't see this game. All games are live on South African television. So go watch it there.
Let's talk about where it all started for you. As we know you, you have a voice that just captures the imagination, that transforms South African football. I'm interested in where Baba Mthethwa discovered that my voice is slightly different and my voice can add something unique to South African football. It can capture the imagination because, yes, we all speak, but there's a point where you realize that, no, man, this voice is a little bit different.
I think the voice thing, I realized when I was still very young, I think. Amongst my peers that I grew up with, I was always told, hey, you have a big voice for your age. And no one ever said you have a nice voice. So I always maintained, okay, do I have a... Then as I was growing up, I was told, o tla sebetsa monate radio. Yeah, o na le voice ya radio. Oh, okay, o na le voice ya radio. And I was like, no way. My mirror is not telling me that. It's telling me something different. Yeah, I have both.
Good looks and a good voice.
Yeah, then I said, nah, something is not giving here.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. Okay. Then I went to varsity. And at varsity, we had a football league. Yeah. And we had teams in campus. And when they were playing, one day, I remember we were playing we had many grounds at campus. And there's a ground called Ground B. So it was next to one of the female hostels. Yeah, VJ. So VJ was here, the ground was here, Ground B. So guys would want to score on the side of the hostel. When the ball was going that side there, no one would be sharp on my fleet or anything.
Yes.
When it comes this way, And then I said, no, I need to add spice to this thing. I asked one of the organizers, can I use a PA system to commentate on this thing? And said, yeah, why not? Let's try something. I did it. And the whole thing became a norm. At school, whenever there are finals or big games, we had a serious league, 12 teams. A serious league. We had some of the players who played in the PSL there, like Harry Chwew. Yes, TV4. He played in our league at school. We had the Whoosh from Kwatema, played professional football, played for the league, Mabena, Jomo Mabena. They all played there. Hey, there was lots and lots of the guys. Some of them who played for professional teams, but they were studying at the same time. So you see that it becomes something huge when there's now a voice. And this voice started becoming a regular voice. And during holidays, when I come back home, I miss that. Unfortunately, at some point, I heard that SABC was looking for a Sesotho commentator because the current Sesotho commentator had left to join Pirates. So there was a void. So the chance came, and I started like bombarding them with phone calls. Then a lady called Nomagnene, she's still here. She was a coordinator then. I don't know where she is now. And she said, no, come. They're having auditions. I came here, and I think Mr. Rob Rogers was there. He lives in London now. He was my first boss here. Rob Rogers said, no, give me, look at the monitor, give me a microphone, speak. Said it was a game between SuperSport United. Then it was still called Pretoria City and some team, I can't remember. I think I spoke for 1 minute only. I could hear, when you're having your comms.
Yes.
There's 20 people speaking in that thing. I could hear in unison saying, he's a natural. Give him a contract, cancel everybody else.
And that was it.
And that was that. And I asked why. They said, your voice is something else. You have a voice to die for. And in 1 minute, you just captured everybody who was listening. And we felt that if we don't give you a chance, we shall have deprived over 6-8 million SABC viewers of this big talent. And that's how it all started.
Baba, so often on this platform, we talk about the champion's blueprint, the ability for a champion to share their blueprint with someone else. So many South Africans watch you and they imitate you. I'm sure you've seen it on TikTok.
I live with it.
Whether you love it, whether you don't, whether they are good, whether they are bad. But so many South Africans love what you do. And the beauty about you as an individual is you are transferring your gift and your skill to your mentees. Someone like Umapensela, Reggie, who commentates in isiZulu. He takes your flavor, but he makes it his own. How important is it for you to share that gift with youngsters that are looking up to someone like you?
Remember, before me, there were other commentators that came before me, but mainly on radio.
Yeah.
And that is where my passion started, actually. I didn't know I'd be on TV one day, but I knew that I would be on radio. But guess what? I never commentated on radio. Not even once. Not even once. I've never. But people that I looked up to, Cabo Manyapilu, Tlhapane Mastenyana, Zama Masondo, Tumile Mateza, Wandile Zote, all those people, all of them, I learned one thing from them. Respect the craft. Respect the microphone. And respect the audience. Because your audience is very diversified. Somebody who speaks isiZulu can listen to you while speaking Sesotho, not hearing a word, but they like the voice, the rhythm, the passion of what you're doing. And they simply want to listen to this rhythm. In African culture, they say you can never have a song engena umqeqo.
What does that mean?
Umqeqo is rhythm. Yeah. You can never have a song that does not rhyme. Yeah. You can never have a song without beat. So if your voice sounds like a drum beat rhyming with rhythm, that's top notch.
That's the magic.
So, for younger people that listen and follow what I do, I'll say to them, it doesn't start with the fame and the fortune. It starts with the respect and the humanity and the humbleness that you show to this object called microphone. Because with it, that's where you start and end your career. Because if you don't respect it, it will go. I'm in this industry now for 30 years. And people are saying I'm still relevant. That's why I'm still here. Last weekend I did a massive game
I was gonna go
of
there.
Barcelona and Real Madrid
Yeah.
at Santiago Bernabeu. Not many people in their lifetime will get that opportunity. I did finals, World Cup finals, since 2006 up to the last final of the World Cup I've done. Italy, 2002, Brazil, Germany, I did the final. 2006, Italy, France, I did the final. 2010, Spain, Holland, I did the final. 2014, Germany, Argentina, I did the final. 2018, France, Croatia, I did the final. 2022, Brazil, Argentina, France, I did the final. So with all that, there's something about that. You don't just wake up in the morning and be told that you're doing a World Cup final, the biggest sporting spectacle after the Olympics. You know, the 100-meter finals of the Olympics and the 4x4, not 4x1, 4x4 athletics relay final, men and women, is watched by over 2 billion people. Same as the World Cup, the final. 2.2 billion was the final of the World Cup, soccer. If you're told that, then you should know there's something special that you're giving to the people. AFCONs, as an example. I've done AFCONs finals from 2002 until the last one that we've just done now, last season, which is 2023. Ask yourself those questions. What can I take from this man that has made him to be what he is? What can I learn that has made him what he... There's no favor. There's no favor. It's just pure hard work, giving yourself attention to detail, learning, reading, researching, understanding. There's one thing that I pride myself about is attention to detail. 1. 2. Give me any name, Russian, Slovakia, whatever name, and ask me to pronounce the name. Write it down for me. I'll look at it. If I don't know, Google is there. Go to Google and say, how do I pronounce this name? It will tell you to pronounce Kavashkalia. That's how you say it. Khiva Kavashkalia. Then I write it down in the way that I'll be able to say it, but not losing the actual intonation of the name and the pronunciation. So all those things, younger people must learn to listen when we teach. Stay original. Aaron, you're not Aaron. You're not Baba Mthethwa. I'm not you. I'm who I am. My talent is mine. My creativity is mine. My creativity lines are mine. My pop-up lines are mine. So create your own so that tomorrow we can identify you as you. Today, people can identify one of my people, my prodigies, or one of my sons in football, Reggie. Yadlemnyam. You know, no, I can't say that.
Yeah.
It's Reggie's line. You can't say Famo to ball.
No.
That's my line.
Yes.
You can't say thaaata. You can't say howing. You can't say hooray. There's so many. They're mine. You can't touch them. Because you'll know that it's not you. Another example, Tsepo, one of my sons in football. Tsepo, you know, how to rata Tsepo. When you say Hauli Munato Munati, that's Tsepo. You see, Matsitsi, something that he says, it's him. You see, so everybody in this industry, you must have your own creativity so that you can create your own niche. That following will follow who you are, not what you want to be like somebody. I stayed original. So staying original made me not to sound like anyone. Because I was told from day one that don't be anyone, be yourself. We have a voice for this thing. Use that voice. Sometimes for whatever reason, but the voice stays the same, you know. And also, people must learn to do voice training at home, Because remember, with commentary, your voice has to fluctuate sometimes, like a song in a crescendo. That's where the beat thing comes in with African football. That beat doesn't stay up all the time. Sometimes goes down, flat, high notes, all that. That's how you commentate. When you commentate, you cannot have the same voice from when the ball leaves the goalkeeper to the other end. Can't be the same voice. You start somewhere, crescend somewhere, go very flat because there's nothing happening. Very flat. Sometimes you just keep quiet, as if nothing's happening because there's nothing happening. Sometimes. But we can never ever commentate football like we're in England. We're telling African stories the way Africans want to hear and see their African football stories being told the African way by Africans for Africans. That's how it should go.
When you talk about telling African stories, I want to highlight the fact that you've always said this one line, making Sesotho fashionable. Talk to me about that, because to me, we celebrate our cultures mainly when it comes to Heritage Day. And so often we then forget about them. But the one constant about you is Sesotho is always, every single day,
fashion.
It's in fashion. And you don't shy away from celebrating Sesotho. Why is that so important to you?
My mother was a Mosotho. The Sesotho language I took from my mother's side, my maternal side. As you know, I'm Zulu, but I use Sesotho. People are surprised, how do I speak Sesotho so well, but not Zulu? I speak Zulu as well, just that I don't want to. Because I feel that for me to stay resonating with my people and my niche, I have to stick to the language that they know me by, which is Sesotho. I realize that many people in South Africa, especially young people growing up, they don't respect our languages, South African languages. And fortunately, I'm very proud of African-speaking people because they'll never deviate. It's either you speak to an Afrikaner in his language or bye-bye. He might even pretend that he can't hear what you're saying in English, which works for me. I'm happy for that. So he's trying to show you that speak your own language, I'll speak mine. But respect my language so that I can respect yours. So that we can have a conversation. No language should be superseding any other language. So our kids now going to all these schools where English is top of the drawer, bigger than the subject matters of physics, mathematics, LLON, but they're putting English there and slang from America.
Yeah.
It doesn't build our nation. No one says they must not learn English at schools because all subjects are done in English. That's school English. But conversations at home amongst peers must still be done in your original language. Province by province, languages are different. But now we are infused in different languages at different provinces. Whereby you go to Kwandebele, you find a Zulu man, or a Mutswana, or a Mupedi. You go to KZN, you find somebody who speaks Sesotho in KZN. How does it happen? How do you end up here speaking Sesotho? Work, school, life, love. You can look. It can happen to anyone. Yeah. So all those things together, ask yourself a question: how did this happen? That our kids now have lost it completely in terms of wanting to know our languages. One day, my daughter, I sent her WhatsApp, Sesotho, and she sent the WhatsApp to her mother to explain. I know her mother's watching, it's fine. Yeah. And she had to explain to her in English, and I was angry to both of them. That
you wanted her to figure it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, at school where she goes at boarding school now, she has a girl from Lesotho and Botswana.
So she's forced.
She has to learn now. She has to learn because the one from Botswana always wants to speak Setswana, and that's what she must learn. Because where I live, mainly predominantly people speak Setswana more than any other language, English and Afrikaans. So if we put this into perspective, it means our children needs to be taught and know and be pursued to learn languages. So when I say Rekenya Sesotho fashioning, I'm trying to tell anyone who wants to know who's listening or who's watching that Luena put isindebele. Nithini isindebele? Faka isindebele kuphi?
Faka isindebele styling.
Faka isindebele styling. Zulu people will say their own. isiZulu will say their own thing. AmaXhosa will say their own thing. Ngachivenda, Xitsonga, Setswana, Sepedi, and even Khoikhoi and Khoisan. They can put in their own word. This is how we want to hear our languages. Fortunately, the Pan South African Language Board promotes that we should learn our mother tongue. In 2018, I won an award in 19 for being an activist for mother tongue languages. That was a sign to me that I'm doing the right thing by winning that award, or those 2 awards. That it means I'm doing the right thing by pushing for mother tongue to be spoken about, to be learned, and people to even read about with mother tongue books. And our libraries now these days are not coordinated in certain ways whereby we could see that our children are being taught to understand that English is not the only language that you should know. Because if you go to France, they do schooling in French.
Yes.
You go to England, they do schooling in England, in English. You go to Australia, I'm talking about countries I've been to. Go to Australia, they do their thing in what? In English. New Zealand, same. Okay, they use Maori here and there.
Yes.
Yes. You go to Belgium, they use Belgian and Flemish. That's their languages, you know. With us, with 11, 12, 13 languages, it's a bit diverse. Each grouping has to look after itself. Their heritage, their culture, their traditions, and their language. So to preserve that language, you need to have activists like myself who promote and push for African languages to be recognized, 1. 2, to be pursued by children at school level and at home level. Because you can't be a parent. You grew up speaking isiZulu ekhaya. Then you don't want your children to know isiZulu at all.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Who
are you to say that your children cannot speak any of your languages? Okay, you grew up in a home whereby you spoke isiZulu or Sotho and finished school, varsity and whatever. All of a sudden, when I don't want them to go through the stages of knowing their languages and knowing their culture, and we even stop using our cultures along the way, just to what? To implode English-speaking people? No. There's nothing wrong with speaking English. I speak English myself, but I never forget my roots. That I am a Musotho, I'm a Zulu man who speaks Sesotho. But vice versa, I speak other 6 languages in South Africa. That's how diverse our country is. But the mere fact that I can speak other 6 African languages, it's a sign that I never said these are minority languages. I look at them as languages that all the time must be preserved in our country. You know, next year in April, I hear that I'm getting a doctorate in African languages and promoting African languages. And to me, it's a big blessing. It's a big blessing. It's a sign to show that, yes, African and Africanism and Pan-Africanism is something that must happen, and our languages must stick, whether we like it or not. So to young people, I want to say to them, we're not great by fault or by default. We become great because we love and respect who we are as Africans. I'm challenging you, young people, go and look for African proverbs, particularly from Ethiopia, that speaks about Africanism and Pan-Africanism, and come back to me. After reading those proverbs, find identity, find yourself, and you'll thank me one day that it's not glorious to think that you're an American living in Africa.
Sure. So well said. Baba Mthethwa, we've discussed where you've started, right here at the SABC, how you fell in love with commentary in varsity and what you've achieved. There are so many matches that you've covered in local football, football on the African continent. I mean, recently you covered the El Clasico, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and also you've covered the World Cup since 2002. I want you to single out. I know that I'm putting you on the spot right now.
No, you're not.
But one of the
You're
most...
not.
Am I not?
Aye.
You know it off the top of your head.
I know exactly which games were best and those that were the worst.
Single out one of the goals. And I want you to tell me about the specific goal, but also share a glimpse of how you commentated that moment. If you don't mind.
Commentary, I'm not going to give you. You must pay for it. You must pay.
Just a glimpse. That's why I said just a glimpse, Baba.
I refuse. That you're not going to get from me.
Yeah.
You are going to pay for it.
Well, I mean, we can talk to a few people.
I know.
I want you to take me into that moment.
Go talk to them first. Then come to me. Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to that column.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've done a lot of games. Remember a season I could do up to 40, 50 games a season.
Yeah.
There's a derby in South Africa I did, Pirates and Chiefs, when Benny McCarthy scored 2 goals. Yeah, I was still working here at SABC. That was one of the best games I did. There was a game that I did of Bafana against Gabon. It was in Nelspruit. That's the night I received a call from SuperSport whilst I was still working here. South Africa versus Gabon in Nelspruit. They were watching at SuperSport that day, that game.
We need you.
We need to talk. But I said to them after the World Cup 2010, because I wanted to serve my people through the original World Cup that was going to happen here. After that, I could go anywhere. And I left SABC only after the World Cup. People are asking, why didn't you leave SABC and go to SuperSport during the World Cup? I said, no, you don't understand. Those 10, 15 million people who listen to me every day, I owe them something. I was with them when we lost the bid for 2006 World Cup Germany. I was with them. We cried together. In 2008, when we won the bid, we rejoiced together. So the final leg was to do it with them. Then I can leave them. I shall have achieved everything. I've done AFCONs, Olympics, everything at SABC. It's time for a new journey. And the journey was to cross over to Randburg. Another game that I remember was my first Bafana game, South Africa versus Ghana at FNB Stadium. It took me from 1999 to 2005 to do my first Bafana game. When I asked Brapet why so long, he said, every journey has a purpose. That journey that we took you through was to prepare you for big time. And he said, you have now created your own niche. It's time to flourish. That game, first time I saw an international player and talked to him, Stephen Appiah from Ghana. And I was like, damn, this football thing is nice.
Love it.
This football thing is bloody nice.
Yeah.
Stephen Appiah, me talking to him. This thing, I'm staying in this thing.
Yeah. So you're still not going to give us a glimpse of commentary?
No. You don't have,
That's perfectly fine. I had to ask.
I
had to ask.
You don't act like a Matlanga commission. No.
I had to.
Now you want to act like Matlanga commission.
No, it's not.
You ask some guy, are you going to give me an answer now? And that guy said, no, I need to have a break. And I'll answer you later. Now you let me talk and talk. After you come back and say, are you still going to, no ways.
No, I had to ask.
Aye.
But Baba Mthethwa, thank you so much for joining us on the Champions Blueprint. There is so much for us to discuss. I feel like this hour that we've spent together wasn't enough to dissect the life that you've lived. But the one thing that truly stands out for me is your voice and your love for football and for South African humanity as a whole. Not specifically just Sesotho, but just humanity as a whole. So thank you so much for the gift that you've given us through your voice. So often I share my favorite quote, and it goes, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It then goes on to say that when you liberate your own life, your own light, you unconsciously liberate the light of others. And that's what you do on a day-to-day. That's what you do regularly through your commentary. And you give so many South Africans joy. Thank you so much, Baba Mthethwa. And may your light continue to shine.
Well, thank you very much. That was very profound, I must say, and heartwarming. Thank you very much for having hosted me at 5 a.m.